Okay, guys, welcome to another episode of the Pixel Dome. This is a big one, at least a big one for me, because I had to play through these two freaking games. And if you've ever played Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts, anything in that series, you know that it's just a nightmare. They're super fun games. I love them to death, and I would never say a bad word about them. But they're nightmares. And so I played through the Sega Genesis version, the Super Ghouls and Ghosts on the Super Nintendo, and even made it pretty much to the end of the Super Graphics version, but didn't have enough time to include that one. It's just like the Genesis version anyway. We're not really going to compare the two games because they're two very different games, but we're just going to show some footage and give our thoughts on it as usual. Not going to spend a lot of time with this monologue, so we're going to get right to it.
Alright, as Jeff said, we're going to be talking about Ghouls and Ghosts today. And this is mainly going to be Jeff doing the talking. I played I think 2 stages on Ghouls and Ghosts on the Genesis, and this game is definitely one of Dante's Steps of Hell. I cannot get into it. I love it. I adore it, but it infuriates me. Now, saying this, if you're a modern gamer, you're very familiar with the From Software company. From Software makes Sekiro. They've got Bloodborne. They have Dark Souls. Dark Souls 3. Elden Ring. And many other games that are also part of Dante's Steps of Hell. I play all these games and I love all these games, but this game definitely surpasses them with its difficulty level. I'm not really going to say much more about these games other than it can just suck it. I have no desire to sit and struggle with these. Jeff, I do believe, is some sort of sadist or something because he kept putting himself through it to beat the games. But anyway, like he said, we're not going to monologue this one to death, and so we're going to get right to it.
So here it is, Ghouls and Ghosts on the Sega Genesis. This is the pretty standard first level for any Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts game. You're in this graveyard looking area. I mean, most of them are different. So you traverse this graveyard, and then it all gets different as you go on, and it stays hard the whole time too.
Yeah, this is probably the one I'm most familiar with. I did beat it the first round, not the second round as a kid. I have no idea how I did it. I can't do anything on this game anymore. I got to like the second stage on it and just kind of started pulling my hair out.
And here's your buddy, the little red devil gargoyle guy, who apparently had got a spin-off. I didn't realize that Gargoyles game was a spin-off of this, but it was. And that guy, he's always a nightmare, so when you see him, get ready. I'm having to speed a lot of this footage up because there's just so much, and we know your attention span's short, so, you know, heck, we're at the end of level 2 right here, and it was a nightmare. This stage was a nightmare for sure.
Yeah, I watched him play this, and this was, there's no way. I mean, it just... Like I say, this game is just, like I said in the intro, I mean, it's painful. Yeah. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, why it bugs me so much, because like I showed in the intro, I mean, I've got plenty of super tough games, but this one, it just presses my buttons.
Well, you just, it's just so easy to die. Even with the gold armor, you don't go back to your silver armor. You just go back to your underwear, and you die. This was a really cool boss. I love this boss here. But, you know, that's one thing that bothers me is if you get the gold armor, I think you should at least go back to the silver armor, you know. But, like, good Lord, this whole game, I mean, this is the beginning of this level. Look, it immediately just get turned into a duck. You got all these dudes flying around. It's ridiculous. See, and then you go up there and you basically have to fight all the bosses again. I mean, and see, look, I beat that's the first boss. Then go to this guy, or these guys, and then that's the boss from, I forget which level, and then you got just out of the blue the first level boss again, and it's just a nightmare. And then this guy is a freaking nightmare to beat, but this is the end boss for the first quest. I did not beat the second quest, so let's just make that clear. I plan on doing it. to see what the actual ending's like. But man, when you get to this, is it not the most disappointing thing?
Yeah. I mean, because you go through all that, and you should. I don't know what you expect, but it should tell you to do it over.
Right, it starts you right back there, like you say, and then here's the Super NES version, and it's just beautiful. The graphics.
It is. I mean,
graphics on the Genesis were good, but this is just nice. It's really nice.
I mean, I'm a Genesis guy, but I mean, this game is just gorgeous. I mean, they absolutely nailed it on the look of this game. The enemies are so varied. I mean, it's
the levels are a trip too. I mean, this was the first one that was made exclusively for a system. The Genesis version was a port of the sequel to Ghosts and Goblins. See, here's the first level boss, just completely different than the one on Genesis, but it's a completely different game. It's, like I said in my intro, we're not comparing them as far as game to game. This pirate ship's a cool level.
Yeah, I mean, like Jeff just said, it's not really a comparison video per se, but it's kind of hard not to brag on the SNES version of it, because, I mean, like we've said about the graphics, and I just think it ain't just the graphics with it. I mean, it's just so much more creative.
Oh yeah, the levels every one of them are super cool. And if you know anything about the SNES and the Genesis back in the day, when the Super Nintendo came out, they were big on the scaling and rotation. And you see the scaling in the little intro I did with the castle. But here in a few minutes, you'll see a level where they are really utilizing the rotation, big time. And it's just they just pulled out all the stops in this game, that's for sure.
Yeah, they definitely like to remind you in this game they have that ability on this system. Yeah. But they don't overuse it. They do use it very smartly, like in tons of different areas. I watched him play because I didn't play it, but it's.
See, I missed that. The double jump is handy on the Super Nintendo version. You don't have that on the Genesis, but you can't shoot up and down like you can on the Genesis version with this one. So that's another one. Here's where they really use like the rotation thing. See how these it looks like you're running around the tower or whatever.
Yeah, that looks super good. I mean, it did.
Yeah, and it's let's see here. Oh, here you go. The end boss for this level is they're using the rotation big time and the scaling, because here in a minute he comes out at you, and he really wasn't that hard.
No, I mean, as you see, Jeff does beat him in his underwear, so he wasn't the most terribly hard boss I watched him fight.
The rotation right there, that was great use of the rotation. This level was freaking cool looking. I remember when I played it the first time back whenever I was a much younger person, and here you're riding some looks like cherry pie in like a blueberry land or something like that, but it's still a cool level.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a more kind of faithful recreation of the series, the Genesis version is the one you want to play. But I don't know, to me, if you just want a better just game all around, I mean, I just think the SNES one's where it's at.
Oh yeah, but like I said, it's the only one that was made exclusively for a system. It wasn't an arcade port. Now, Genesis did a great job at being an arcade port.
But like this here with the snow and stuff, I mean, this looks great.
Yeah, this level, when I got to it, I took a video and sent it to about 50 people, like a video of my TV screen. Look at this. It was just so cool. And all these little ice guys. Look at all the enemies coming, and I'm just extremely lucky right here. And here's the boss, and this guy was pretty tough, and so I know I'm having to fast forward everything, and oh, look at there! Oh gosh, I barely made it by the skin of my teeth. And if I'd have got hit by that, it would have frozen me for a minute. Luckily, I don't get hit by any of that in this footage, but man, this guy was tough. I mean, it's like a shooter. You have to die many times before you ever figure out the pattern and how to make it through the levels.
Yeah, I'm a definite believer in the FromSoft developers. They definitely are fans of this game because there's no way you're going to make games like any of the Souls games and not like this game. I mean, it's like I say, I like the Souls games and stuff, but this game's just on another level.
Oh, and I hated this weapon here. It shot up, so you could kind of kill those gargoyles, but it wasn't worth the crap for anything else. Then you fight this guy the first time, I think. Okay, let's see. Yeah, and then you go to this level here. I mean, it's just the levels are getting shorter, but it's definitely getting tougher as you go. And so then you have to fight that dude again. And see, I had the green armor with the crossbow, and with the green armor, the weapon just flies around everywhere. So I had to actually get hit once to get my underwear, so I could just have the regular crossbow in order to beat him. But then he takes his second form, and then you finally, hopefully, beat him by then. But that sucked. Whenever I got there and I had that crossbow, and every time I shot, it just flew all the way around, and I couldn't do anything, so I had to get hit. And then here you get the disappointing ending again, but...
Yeah, that's one thing you're guaranteed. Regardless of what version you play, you walk away disappointed with the ending.
You've got to play through them all twice, and here we go. But we appreciate you guys watching, and appreciate Chris Moray for making that really cool Pixel Dome artwork.
Yeah, that's definitely awesome.
And the music, too, as well. So you guys have a good one.